we're going to look at CCR Classic Proud Mary. I did 2 lessons on this way back at the beginning 10, 11 years ago, and they were long and digressive, and I apologize for that. I'm going to try to tighten it up here today and just show you the meat of the matter. And the main point here is that I want to show you why Fogerty played these licks when and where he did, so that you can take them and play songs other than Proud Mary. You can take these Fogerty-ish licks and implement them into your own playing. Alright, so let's start with that intro, which is repeated throughout the song, and it's a descending chord lick that bears a striking resemblance to In the Midnight Hour by Wilson Pickett. So it's, in this case, it's C, A, C, A, C, A, G. Now over the F you can go, or you can go. Either way, what you're doing is you're introducing an F6. Fogerty did a lot of rockabilly, western swing-ish playing, and that 6th chord is a common chord in those genres. So I think he does it with the pinky on the D note, 2nd string, 3rd fret. I like playing it here. Either way, you're introducing that D note, which is the 6th over the F, but is leading you back to the D major, which is the key of the song. It's a small thing, it's a little flavor that he throws in there. Alright, then the song just plays that chugging riverboat kind of rhythm over the D major, and then the only other 2 chords in the song are an A major to B minor. Okay, so let's look at the solo. Well, if you're playing over any A-shape chord, in this case, this version of a D chord, right? You're barring 4, 3, 2 at the 7th fret. That's a D major triad. If you slide into that, you've got all those cool Hendrixy double stops we've looked at. You've got a lot of cool licks. So he slides into the 9th fret, 5th string, and then he's hitting the 9th fret, 4th string, and then he starts doing some those Keith Richards-ish things, right? That's the 8th fret, 2nd string, and the 9th fret, 4th string. Remember, I've shown you in many lessons, that's essentially going from a 1 chord to a 4 chord, right? A D chord to a G chord, because that's the G chord of a D shape, the movable D shape. So he just kind of keeps, and then he does the, which is such a sweet lick and really common in Fogerty. He does it, I believe, in Looking Out My Back Door. So anytime you're over a D shape, you can slide up on the 2nd and 3rd strings into essentially your E or F shape of a D chord, right? If you play your standard bar chord, E shape, I like to call it the F shape, of a D chord at the 10th fret, well then you've got the major 3rd, 11th fret, 3rd string, you've got the 5th, 2nd string, 10th fret. That's just a classic rock lick that you can throw in any time. So if you find yourself over this shape of the D chord and you're like, what can I do? Well, I can go. So take that form, slide it down 2 frets, so you're at 8 and 9, and then when you get to 7, again, you're barring. So he goes, the second time around, he's just kind of doing the same thing. So when he comes out of it, he goes. So that's just a double stop lick. 7 and 9 on 4 and 5. 5 and 7. And then 4 and 5. And I did another lesson recently that was called something like The Ultimate Guide to Guitar Fill Licks, where I go through all of these sliding harmonized thirds and sixths. It's the same notes anywhere on the fretboard, and they're super useful, and Fogerty uses them all the time, right? He goes elsewhere in this song, which I'll show you in a minute. But anyway, coming out of the solo, so that takes him back down to first position, where the chord is going to change to the A, to the B minor, remember? So this is really easy stuff. He's just over an A chord, so he's playing some notes over an A chord. That's just third and second string, hammering at the second fret, and then when it shifts to the B minor, he plays some notes out of that B minor chord. So third string from 2 to 4, second string from 2 to 3, 5th fret, something along those lines, okay? And then we're back to D, rolling. And that's where you get that great fill. So again, it's right out of your chord shapes. These are sliding sixths. When they're on, not on adjacent strings, in this case 2 and 4, they're called sliding sixths or harmonized sixths because the interval is a sixth apart. When they're on adjacent strings, they're called harmonized thirds. And again, I will link that lesson here. But think about it, you're out of a D chord here of the A shape, so you take 2 notes out of that, 7th fret, 4th and 2nd strings, come down to 5th fret, and then when you get to the 3rd fret, you're shifting to the C shape of a D chord, right? Think of your D7, which is just your movable C7 shape. So you've got 3rd fret, 2nd string, 4th fret, 4th string. And you can play that with your pick by laying your middle finger over the 3rd string to mute it. Or you can hybrid pick it, or use your fingers. So that's the same as, so with thirds you're going from the A shape of a D chord to the D shape of a D chord. Up here we're going from the D shape to the F shape, and so forth. So play around with these and check out that other lesson. But that's basically it for Proud Mary. You've got that lick, you've got the solo licks, you've got the little open string thing, and then you've got the harmonized sixth or third licks. So that's things that you can take and play in any song, because if you know these movable chord shapes, every song has them, right? Every single song. You'll start hearing them everywhere once you become aware of them. All right, hope this was good for you, and as always, thanks for joining me.